There you go.
Hey everybody, today I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about seed saving. And different plants have different ways of saving seeds. Most of them are going to be pods, and I'll say these are green bean pods. These are the actual green beans whenever you're going to cook them. But if you let them dry like this on the vine, then inside the pod is the actual green bean that you can save for next year and plant. There's lots of different plants that have pods. This is our radishes here, and this is just a few radishes. I think it's 6 or 7 of them that went to seed, and all of these have all of these little pods on there. And whenever you break them open like these right here, you're going to get the seeds out of them. Now, some you would think would have this ginormous pod and would have a ton of seeds in there. But whenever you actually open it up, there may be one seed in there. There may be just a couple of seeds in there. So most of these have had 3 or 4 seeds in there. Some of them you're going to see are going to be black and those aren't good seeds. So I don't try to keep any of the seeds that I think are going to be bad, because I have so many seeds on these radishes that I'm going to have more than enough for next year. If you have so many seeds, you can actually give them away to your neighbors or save them for the next year. They'll grow several years later after you've harvested them. So what I do is I put them on these styrofoam plates, paper plates, whatever you have, and I write the name on them, whatever it is, and that way these can still continue to dry out. And once they're dry, then you can make your own little seed envelopes. And I downloaded this online and glued it at the edges, and then you can write all your information on there, put your seeds in there, and store them away for next year until you're ready to plant them again. Now your seeds, you can get seeds from the supermarket, or these are my glass gem popcorn that I got, but I got them too late to really grow them this year. So next year those will be just fine, and I'll grow them for next year. And if they don't come in a pod, they may come in a fruit, like these are the tiny Tims. These were from bell peppers. You just pop them open, take the seeds out, lay them out on a piece of paper or a paper towel, a plate, whatever. Make sure you write your name on them, because you're going to think, oh, I'll always remember what that was. But as you can see, pepper seeds look like pepper seeds. So how can you tell that this was a Keystone Giant green bell pepper, which turns into red? How would you tell the difference between each of these seeds? They're all basically the same. And you can look at these seeds, and you'll notice that some of those seeds are black, and some of those seeds are just a tannish, like a yellow. Well, the black seeds are not going to be any good. Those seeds have not either formed, or they've turned black in the pod, and so those won't actually grow, but these other ones will grow. So you can pick through them before you put them in your little seed packets to make sure you have good seeds in there. But always pick the best fruits. One thing to show you on fruits, this here's a tiger melon, and he turned yellow, or yellowish orange, and fell off the vine all by himself. So that's when I figure he's ripe. Smells ripe. But this is one that didn't fall off the vine. Now if you save the seeds from this tiny one, you may only get tiny little melons. So it's a good lesson to remember that always save the seeds from the best ones you have, and that way you're more likely to get the best fruit for the next year. Also, if you save seeds, make sure they're not a hybrid seed, because hybrids are crosses between 2 different plants. So you may get the same as the parent plants, and you will probably never get the same as what you just grew. So now these are the green beans that are over there. These are Kentucky pole beans, and they have done excellent for us this year. We've gotten 8 or 10 gallon bags full of green beans that are blanched and frozen in the freezer, and we're still getting green beans. Alan did all these today. These are green beans that were too big to actually have for green beans, so we're going to let them dry out, and we're going to use them as just dried beans with beans and cornbread, something like that. Now this is the pod method right here, and lots of things have pods. This is a marigold, and marigolds come just like this. Basically they'll dry completely out, and you can either go through and pull them out like this, And these marigold seeds will be great for this year, next year. They don't have to wait. They don't have to be stratified or cold, you know, anything like that before they'll germinate. Some seeds need to go through a coldness, and you'll just have to look up online or check a encyclopedia or whatever to make sure that the seeds you're saving don't have to be cold, but most of them don't have to be. There are some that do. Now, stratifying and stuff like that, sometimes you have to scar the seeds so that they will actually be able to germinate, but I don't have any plants right now that need any of that. So you can pull out all the seeds, and actually if you leave any of these on the plants, the birds in the wintertime will love to eat them off of there. So this is pretty much a dry method. You can actually take and put them on a paper towel. Now this is from tomatoes, and you can do the wet method, which is where you take these tomatoes. These are my tiny Tims that I grew inside, and you basically cut the tomato open so that you can get the seeds out of them. And it's not very hard, but you just take a cup and write on the outside what kind of tomato it is or what kind of plant, whatever it is. This is a wet method, and tomatoes have a growth inhibitor on the seed itself. So if you don't either let it dry off of there like this, or let it ferment off, then these seeds won't grow. So you can just take these tomatoes, I let them grow on the vine as long as they could, and you squeeze out the tomato seeds. Now you could save these tomatoes if you wanted to make a paste or something like that, but these were grown specifically for the seeds. It was grown inside the house so that nothing could cross-pollinate, because I have a lot of friends who want these seeds. And so I just grew these tomatoes just for the seed. So these have been inside. There's a few more seeds in there, but I got plenty of these. So I'm going to squeeze out all the seeds and then add a tiny bit of water and let this set and ferment for 3 to 4 days. And when you do, it'll turn into like this. And this is seeds that were collected a few days ago. Now this is whenever I did a different seed, but this was a seed from a tomato that we actually got, and we like to eat it. And it was very meaty without very many seeds. So I'm not sure the name of it. So this one will just be grown for us next year as the tomato that we like to grow. I won't know the variety because it came from a supermarket type tomato that we grew last year. So the seeds in here will ferment on the top. You'll see that there's a mold or fungus, whatever, on top, and that's breaking down that cell wall that keeps it from germinating. And you'll let that actually work for 3 or 4 days, and you're going to add water in there and rinse all that off. All the bad seeds will float to the top, and all the good seeds will float to the bottom, right on down, settle down to the bottom. And then you just rinse them after the 3rd or 4th day. You just rinse them until they're clear, and then lay them out on a tray and let them dry. Now, not all plants have seeds like that. There's also lettuce, and I did, this is a red romaine lettuce, and it kind of gets a seed like a dandelion. There's tiny little tufts of seeds right here on the top, and you can pull all these little seeds off of there, or you can take these like this and just basically beat them upside the bag, and seeds will fall off on the inside. There's going to be hundreds of seeds on these little seed heads, so you're going to get more than enough seeds even if you don't get every single one. Other plants that do that too are like the parsley, and parsley is actually, like parsley and dill, are really easy because they get these little heads like this, and these are really simple, just to pull the seeds right off, and you can pull them off and you'll see that there are tons of seeds right there. And these are all parsley seeds that will germinate and grow again this year or next year. And so all you do is pull those off. And then you can separate the little sticks and twigs, whatever will be in the seeds, so that they're cleaner, and then put them in your seed packets. Write down what they are, of course, and then they'll be ready for next year. And then this you just pitch. So we have the dry seed method, and then we have the wet seed method, and then other plants like potatoes use tubers. And so tubers, these basically have to be stored all winter long so that in a cool, dry place so that they don't grow, and in a dark place. And then in the spring, you plant these. I plant these whole things just like this. This year we did the lasagna method, planted them right on top of the ground with some newspaper underneath of them and straw over the top. And we got over 15 pounds of potatoes off of just 2 rows. So it was an experiment this year, but next year I think we're going to do a lot more. But each of these little eyes on a potato actually grow the plant. So those little eyes will actually sprout and grow the potato, and then more potatoes will grow from just this one. So whether it has a seed pod, dried seed pod, or it has a fruit that you're going to dry the seeds from, like a pepper or a tomato, where you use the wet seed method. This is a great time of year. Yesterday it was 102 outside, so it's a great time of year to get some of these dried ones and save your seeds for the next year. So I thought I'd share that with you. I hope you're having a great Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to everybody. And I hope you find this video helpful. And if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comment. And we'll see you again later. Thanks.